With Hell's Paradise recently getting an anime adaptation and its rise in popularity, today we are going to take a deep dive into the character of Gabimaru, who is the protagonist of the series, and also talk about why his character development was done just right. Disclaimer alert, this video contains spoilers for Hell's Paradise, so if you do not want to get spoiled, then I recommend you kindly not to watch this video. Gabimaru on the surface is generally calm and stoic and can keep his composure even in the face of danger. We can see this in how he kept his composure during the various death sentences he faced or when he faced with other criminals of similar caliber.
仕方ない。殺すか。
Even when he was facing the monk, Gabimaru was very calm and was even calling on Sagiri to remove his bonds now that they were on the island. When in his calm and stoic mode, he is quite a complainer and is very easygoing. He is a man who likes to stick to his missions and doesn't want to waste unnecessary time. Gabimaru is infamously known as Gabimaru the Hollow for his ruthless and indiscriminate ways of killing others without a shred of emotion during his missions. It might have been due to his upbringing by the village chief of Iwagakure, who taught him to have a complete disregard for all life and perceive having emotions as a weakness. It was what had shaped Gabimaru for most of his life until he got married to Yui. Yui in this series is the 8th daughter of the Iwagakure chief and is also the main factor that changed Gabimaru from the ruthless, indiscriminate hollow he was known as. Getting married and spending time with Yui was a very different experience in Gabimaru's life, as he was taught to discard all emotions as they were a sign of weakness. But he was faced with a dilemma when his prior conception of emotion was changed by his wife, as she believed true strength came from embracing one's emotion. This difference in the philosophy, or should we say the ideology of Gabimaru's past and present, greatly helped him shape into a character we can see towards the end of the series. Gabimaru was faced with the dilemma of which ideology to hold in multiple instances, even when he was facing Sagiri later on the island. He was one moment away from killing Sagiri, but just couldn't do it due to the two philosophies conflicting him. It was like his mind had decided one thing, but his instinct told him another. It was also for seeking a normal and peaceful life with his wife that he was betrayed by his own village and captured by the forces of the shogunate to carry out his execution for being a murderer. Gabimaru would have had no problem dying if not for his want to be with his wife. We can also see that although he was complaining about wanting to die, he was still unintentionally resisting his death through the various life sentences he experienced. It was only when he faced Sagiri, who was an Asaemon, that he came to terms with him wanting to live and stay peacefully with his wife. With this, we can see how his wife is a major reason for his change and how Sagiri, being somewhat similar to his wife, helped him change into a character with strong emotions and a will to live. Later, it was due to this very reason of him being susceptible to accepting his emotions and his weaknesses that he could fully embrace the Tao. For mastering the Tao, each user had to be in full terms with both their strengths and their weaknesses. So the old Gabimaru, who strongly believed that emotions were a weakness and didn't want to embrace his weakness, could never have mastered Tao. After being influenced by the kind and caring ways of Yui, Gabimaru was very reluctant to unnecessary killing and violence, on which he resolved to kill only when absolutely necessary or when his or his loved ones' lives were in danger. After setting his resolve, we could see some gradual changes in his behavior which helped in his character development both personality-wise and strength-wise. He even started showing concern for others even during his mission. We can see this concern take place a lot by keeping Mei into the picture. He consoled Mei, telling her that she was pretty even with a scar, stepped in to protect Mei from a doshi, and even showed signs of genuine anger when the doshi talked about Mei like an object. In chapter 60, after Mei voiced her opinion of wanting to meet Rein and Jofuku, Gabimaru told her he'd make it happen, as living a normal life without completing her desires would be impossible. This makes us see how even sympathy had gradually developed in Gabimaru after his experience on the island and his time with his wife. After knowing that Rein was the wife of Jofuku, Gabimaru could not destroy Jofuku's body since he knew what it was like to love someone dearly. Explaining this reason to Rein also made her finally come to terms with her husband's passing. Through all that Gabimaru experienced in Shinshenkyo, he had finally come to understand his emotions and had rejected the philosophy taught to him by the Iwagakure chief. With this, at the end, he was finally able to break out of his emotionless cell and for the first time in his life was able to smile and laugh genuinely with others. We can also see him finally able to fit into a normal life with his wife and sleep easily even in the middle of the day when Sagiri comes to meet him at the end of the manga. This was all due to the hardships and experiences that he faced throughout the story, and it changed him from Gabimaru the Hollow to simply Gabimaru. All in all, Gabimaru's along with other characters' developments and the pace of the story's progression complement each other nicely, which make the whole manga so worth reading.